Welcome to Taxidermy for the Sportsman, brought to you by Artistic Antlers, crafters of world-class antler reproductions. Skull Crafters, masters in skull cleaning services for the taxidermist and sportsman. H and H Fur Dressing, skilled tanners providing the finest tanning services. Reinhardt and Reinhardt, the nation's leading taxidermy school. Come master in the art that's capturing your heart. Dan Reinhardt Taxidermy School. Connected to the water, the woods and sky above. You'll learn to make a living by doing what you love. Preserve the gifts of nature, mount memories on the wall. Pheasant, duck, fish or buck, hear your future call at Reinhardt, Dan Reinhardt.
Welcome back to Taxidermy for the Sportsman. In this episode, we're going to go out on the road and we're going to visit H and H Fur Dressing. Good friend of mine, Mark Marlette, is the owner of H and H Fur Dressing, and he preps and tans hides from around the world. And he's going to give us an inside look into what a professional tannery is all about. Let's head over to Mecosta, Michigan, and join Mark Marlette at H and H Fur Dressing.
Hi, I'm Mark Marlette from H and H Fur Dressing Incorporated, and I'm going to give you a little insight as to where I was to where I am today. And it all started back in the late 80s. Didn't really know what I wanted to do with my life. I just knew I wanted to do something in the outdoors. So I looked into the different guide schools, maybe going out west to be an elk guide or a sheep guide or something like that. And happened to be out on a lake one day, and I caught a fish. And thought, you know what, I've never had a fish mounted, so let's bring it to a taxidermy studio. So I did. I brought it to a taxidermy studio. I walked in the doors and absolutely fell in love with the place and knew that at that point that is what I wanted to do with my life. Throughout the years, I studied and learned it basically on my own, learning it the hard way until I joined some associations, the Michigan Taxidermy Association. Actually, I joined that, started doing some competition pieces and learning from the judges. And then again, I wanted to hone my craft a little bit better. And that's when I met Dan Reinhardt and went to his school. In fact, I went there to get better at fish. Who's better at teaching you than Dan? And in fact, I went twice. The first time was to just get me the basics down and really learn. And the second time around was really absorbing. It's your brain is like a sponge. The first time, overloaded with all the information because there's just a plethora of information when you go there. And really, I took that back to my studio and implemented those different things that I did, and they worked. But again, taking notes and everything, I lost some of that. So I think it was a year or two later. Let's do it again. Now I've got the basics down. I'm really going to absorb this time around. Went there, absorbed, took it back to my studio, and things just really took off from there. How I got to this place, the actual tannery and fur dressing, was I was working full time for a major automotive manufacturer in Grand Rapids, Michigan, and I knew that they were going to close the doors. And my wife and I talked, and I said, this job's going to be gone. I can do the taxidermy. I know what I'm doing. Let's just make the leap and really make this thing happen and chase that dream. So that's what I did. I took the buyout while I was over at Dan's school. The second time, my phone rang in the hotel room, and it was the tannery that was doing my tanning for me, calling me up and saying, Mark, we've been doing your tanning for the last 13, 14 years. We've competed against you. We love what you do as far as taxidermy goes. We're looking to sell our business. We think you are the guy that can take it to the next level. And I said, well, boy, that's quite an opportunity. Take the dream, take your chances, and really go after them. But you got to have the fire in your belly. You got to have the passion, the desire to do it, and you can do it. It's a wonderful feeling. And you know what? It's kind of it's. I go home at night. There are going to be stressful days, and no matter what business you get into, but it's a great feeling knowing that what I'm doing during the day here is now helping my employees. We're giving them a job, security in their job, and the company's growing. The taxidermists out there that are using our tan are absolutely loving this tan, and we're growing and we're growing and we're growing. And so it makes me feel so good to know that by taking that chance, by taking the leap of faith, if you will, and chasing my dreams, I am to where I am today.